Hi, I'm Merrick D'Amato,
And I'm Classic Gamer.
and welcome back to Let's Play Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror.
Yes.
Usually it's a smoking gun, this time it's just a mirror.
So wait till he's got his. That's it. Make sure his hands like when he's not drinking it, obviously.
I splashed a little absinthe into the glass and hoped he wouldn't notice the change of color.
Did you put something in my drink?
Yeah, I did. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's certainly an improvement over Gleese's wine. In fact, I could grow to like it.
You see what's going to happen when you do the next lot into his glass.
Well, seeing as how absinthe makes you hallucinate,
Allow
Oh.
me.
You're about to see. Oh.
so is this a crime that George has committed?
I would say yes and no because having absinthe.
Glees wasn't
absinthe
happy. I could tell.
Is
He was out for the
very
count.
illegal in France. Or
Um,
at this time of this game, I think when in this,
It was a sturdy
Something
packing
set.
case.
there should be something on that packing case that you should be able to examine.
There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label.
It's the other one. You're just on it, but literally, yeah, that's it. That's
It
it.
was a label bearing a company name and logo.
And try not to tell you everything, but trying to tell you everything at the same time. Not trying and trying.
Underneath the logo of a flying bird were the words Condor Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing.
Do you know what? I actually got a crash in this point.
It was beginning to make sense.
Really?
Oubier had
Yeah,
organized
the
Nico's
music just kept
abduction.
looping.
Oubier withdrew money from Marseille.
It was annoying.
Oubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseille. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train.
Right, before you click on the heart,
This is a lot more linear than the first one already.
yeah, it is. Before you click on the heart, just go over to the left
It was
of the screen,
almost dawn when I arrived
and
in
you can
Marseille.
examine
I
something that
traced
you can't see
Condor
if you go near the
Transglobal
heart.
to a desolate dock
The
side.
angle changes. So just try walking just over. Yeah, that's it. Just
I'm
go
starting
that.
to see what you mean when you say they didn't have as much time to do this one.
The debris on the side there you can examine.
Debris?
Yeah.
It was just a heap of chains and stuff.
They always use chains.
There was nothing there I
Shackle you
wanted.
in the basement, George.
And then you can look at those two barges as well.
The barge was empty.
How?
It was a rusty old barge.
Well, barges don't have a below deck.
I know, but like, how? There might be stuff on the barge itself.
It's empty of people.
Yeah, yeah. So when you actually go nearer the hut, this whole angle here changes. You can't get this angle back.
There was a glow of light at the window.
So it's
of the
quite
hut.
unique.
Ooh. Oh,
Right.
your dog.
Save it first. You don't. It's not a death or anything, but just save it quickly. Oh, wrong one. That's it. And now touch that. See the little chimney thing. Touch it.
Ouch! That's hot. Oh no!
I thought I
learned
would
my
defy.
lesson. The
I
chimney
thought I
was a
would
metal
defy
pipe
you.
with a conical
Although it
hat on top
hurt.
to stop the rain getting in. Here, boy.
Unfortunately, you can only do it
It was a
once.
mean-looking guard dog.
Now,
If you
George.
examine the window, you can actually watch the watchman, and then like you can watch him for ages, and then when you talk to him, he reacts to you being there for ages.
The watchman was big and bulgy, like a sack of potatoes. His flushed and bloated face wore a sleepy, amiable expression.
He doesn't look amiable. He looks kind of pissed off.
Something was bubbling in the watchman's saucepan. It was a packet with a picture of a boxer dog on the front. It was a filthy, stained coffee mug. It was an old, blackened kettle. It was an old iron stove, which heated the hut and the watchman's dinner. It was a large bucket filled with coal. I couldn't reach the bucket. I couldn't reach that far. I couldn't reach that far.
But now you can talk to him if you want.
A shabby old overcoat hung from a peg near the door.
There's also some things just in front of the window you can look at as well.
The spike held a stack of papers which appeared to be shipping documents. None of them referred to Condor Transglobal.
Ouch! Gotcha! That'll learn you to leave things alone.
Oh my god, Flap?
It's not fat.
Looks like Flap.
It's not fat.
I know. Well, it doesn't look like... It sounds like Flap. It's actually the same voice actor as Flap.
Is it?
I said potentially.
It was a box of blank forms. The box contained nothing but blank forms.
Hi there.
What'd you want? Do you know what time it is?
No.
No, I don't wear a watch. As my dad used to say, I'm not into time, man.
Well, you're too early.
Alright.
What time is it anyhow?
The big hand's on the floor. Why aren't you in bed?
Why aren't you in
I
bed?
can explain everything.
Never mind, I ain't that interested.
He's the night watchman.
Also, why are you in bed? You're not my fucking dad.
What time do you open the gates?
Well, George's
7.
dad is dead.
Do you mind if I hang out here
It's
till
true,
the docks
but-
open?
Please
It's none of his
yourself,
business why
but
I'm
you'll
not
have
in
a
bed.
long wait. It's Sunday, and tomorrow is the start of the national holiday. Everything is closed for a month.
Well, wouldn't you just
So
know
I
it?
didn't actually realise this, but this guy's nationality is American.
Yes.
I didn't actually know that at all. It never clocked my mind.
Does that dog belong to you?
Nah, he comes with the job. I just feed him every now and then.
More then than now, I'd say. What's the dog's name?
20.
It's unusual for a dog.
It's his registration number. Security dog number 20.
That animal doesn't seem too hot for a guard dog.
No? You haven't seen him in action.
Doesn't look like he has the energy to wag his tail.
Just like my wife. She's like a slug in a coma until she's annoyed. Then she's like a tiger with a rat up its ass.
Sweet.
Have you put a rat up a tiger's ass before, sir?
Ever heard of Condor Transglobal?
Sure. They have a warehouse here.
Well, could I take a look?
Not until after the holidays. Come back in a month.
I have to make a delivery to Condor Transglobal.
Where's your rig?
About half a mile down the road.
And you walked here? Jeez, are you some kind of nut?
Nah, it was easy. I just put one foot in front of the other. Are you gonna let me make my delivery?
Not without the paperwork. You get the papers, you make your delivery, and I get a fat backhander.
I was getting nowhere with the story about being a trucker. Do you know what kind of business Condor's involved in?
I'm paid to guard the gate. Their business is none of mine.
I'm looking for a young woman.
At the docks? What kind of woman do you have in mind?
You don't understand. It's my girlfriend I'm trying to find.
Well, I ain't seen her, and you should tell her the docks ain't no place for a young lady. They're dirty and they're dangerous.
I'm certain my girlfriend was brought here when she was abducted.
What? Your girl was kidnapped?
Yeah, struck down by an Indian with a poisoned dart.
A poison dart, huh?
I could tell he didn't believe me.
Good. Someone's not believing your BS, George.
I have these very exotic panties.
Take them away, you pervert!
Tell me about Abraham Lincoln.
Have you ever heard of Professor Ubier?
Me? None of my friends are professors or anything like that.
What's cooking?
Beans. You know a man can live on nothing but beans.
Oh my god.
Not this one.
Shouldn't you check them? Beans can burn, dude.
Don't you ever get tired of eating beans?
Sure I do. What do you take me for?
And what's the alternative?
Peas. I can't eat them too often, though. They play hell with my digestion.
How?
Have you ever considered changing your diet?
What's wrong with beans and beer?
You need me to tell you? You're pumping out enough methane here to fill a dirigible.
Do we have to try to use his farts to blow the place up?
No.
Okay.
This is the dart that the Indian shot at my girlfriend.
Sheesh! That's pretty weird, but I don't see why you'd expect to find her here.
Take a look at this letter.
That's sick. Did you write it?
Oh, no. No, it's a letter from my girlfriend's admirer.
If I was you, I'd smack him in the mouth.
Well, that's not my style, but thanks for the advice.
Good advice.
I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
Okay, so when you get out of
You have
here,
nowhere to go but
see
down the stairs, so.
Well, before you do that, use the dart on the padlock for a funny.
Breaking steel padlocks with my bare hands was a feat I'd never mastered.
It would be very useful for your line of work as an adventure game protagonist, George.
The gates were fastened with a heavy-duty padlock.
Try using the dart on it.
I decided I would not be able to pick a 5-barrel hardened steel heavy-duty padlock with a dart.
You know what? The fact he said he decided means he considered it.
What's the big idea?
I don't know. The dog went berserk for no apparent reason.
He's trained to do that. The idea is to deter any would-be intruder.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just remember, he's a trained attack dog. A killer.
You can do it a few more times for funny responses.
Do I throw the dart at 20?
No, you can't, unfortunately.
Without a way of firing the dart,
Good.
I would never have been able to propel it fast enough to puncture the mutt's hide.
Didn't I tell you to stay away from the fence?
I was nowhere near it. It's that dog. He's crazy.
Hey, mind what you say. He's sensitive to negative criticism. Stay away from that fence, asshole!
Right, now you can go down there. Or you can do it again.
Stay away from that fence, asshole!
I'm just glad George is being called what he is for once.
A short stick of wood floated near the edge of the landing stage.
Did you see that as you came down, or was it? Because I saw you immediately.
The stick had a hook
went
on
to
one
it,
end.
so
I figured it was a boat hook. For
It seemed
hooking
it was
boats.
the first thing beside this thing that was that I saw, and it was interactable. So
yeah.
Bobbing up and down in the oily water was the watchman's discarded beer bottle.
Try climbing up through the hatch first.
before picking up the bottle. Okay.
The bottle was just out of reach. Nothing was going to get me into that water if I could help it.
Well, you do have something you can use to get the bottle. That's it. I don't know why the music plays there.
I just
the
knew
act of
that
trying
boat hook
to
would
get
be
a
useful
bottle.
for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little.
Yeah, all this is still here, but you picked up one bottle. Well done, well done, George.
Yeah.
Is the
Now
boat
you can
hook
come up.
going to be our sewer key?
No.
Oh, shame.
The opening in the floor led up into the watchman's hut.
So what do we take?
Just
I couldn't reach the coat.
try talking to the watchman.
Excuse me?
Huh? Who's there?
That's what I wanted to show you. And people never ever land like that on something that you stand on to get through a trapdoor, because if you're a man, that is.
Hmm.
I'd better think this through.
So there's nothing you can do right now with being in the trapdoor. I just wanted to show that off for you.
The platform was held up by a hinged bracket. I couldn't figure out what it was for. Maybe it was part of a structure which no longer existed. My arms weren't long enough to reach the platform.
Boat hook? Boat hook.
Bow hook, yep. So, can you think what that could be used for? What the solution might be?
My
Wait till
arms
the
weren't
dog's
long
on
enough to
it
reach
and
the
then drop
platform.
them in the water?
Exactly.
I really don't want to do that.
Well, that's the only way you can get past the fence. You have to do that. But in order to do that, you have to get up into the hut. But you can't get into the hut until you get rid of the watchman. So go back up the steps. I'll give you some clues of what you need to do. So you've got a bottle filled with water.
Yes.
So try interacting with the. You were close. Yeah, yeah.
The bottle
So
was
this-
half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it.
That allows you to take it off the chimney.
Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney.
So now, what do you think you have to do now to get the watchman to come out? You have to block the chimney with something. Well done.
The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke.
Now talk to the watchman first before you go down there, because you won't get a chance to talk to him about this afterwards.
Is something wrong?
Something wrong? I nearly choked to death.
Why don't you get some air? Take a long walk along the pier. I could stay here and watch the gate.
Oh no. You'd be through that gate as soon as my back was turned.
With that crazy dog around?
Someday I hope to have kids.
Is that all he has to say?
Pretty much. But you don't really get a chance to talk to him and say that.
Oh,
unless
it's going to
you
be
do that.
so nice to be able to just double click and we're there.
Okay, now save it again. After you've got the biscuits. Try and interact
The
with
packet
everything
was
if you
full
can.
of dog
Save it
biscuits.
first.
Okay. As usual, LP3 is we're about to do something stupid save.
Someone had once
Yep.
told me a piece of coal brought you luck.
Oh, we can have the... Okay.
Who was I to argue with irrational superstition?
Stealing coal.
That mug was a health risk. I decided to leave it where it was. I couldn't think of one good reason to steal the watchman's kettle.
Spite.
I wouldn't have considered wearing it if it had been the last coat on Earth.
Yes,
you
you
can
would.
go out-
If it was cold enough, yes, you would.
Yow! Stove equals heat, heat equals burn, burn equals excruciating pain.
Oh, sorry. I love that bit.
Baked beans in ketchup. The saucepan was 3/4 full of
You
baked
remember,
beans.
I know you
remember
hate
how I
ketchup,
said to you-
but-
You remember how I said to you that I it's one of my favourite things to do in this game by making George get a burn on his
The
hand.
box contained nothing but blank forms.
It's him touching that stove that makes me laugh every time.
Oh no, I'd learned my lesson.
Well, clearly you
I mean-
didn't, because you touched the hot chimney and was like, ow, that hurts. And then you touched the hot stove and like, oh.
Go out the main door first. Go out the main door first.
I realized that that wasn't such a good idea.
Go out,
It was
go
the
outside
only
main
source
door
of light
first.
in the watchman's hut.
That's a lie. Source of light.
True.
Potential source
Go out
of
the door
light.
yeah, that's it.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here.
Okay, just hold on to that dog.
I think you can do it at least twice more.
Will he eventually set the dog on George?
Hey,
No.
you wanna end up his dog died?
Now, there's an option I'd never truly considered before.
You should start.
No, he won't.
I'm enjoying a nice cup of tea while we play this.
Down, boy! Down!
I see George do a little
Okay.
dance there. See it, do a little dance again. Like a little dance.
Down, boy! Down!
Eh.
One step back, one step forward, in, out, shake it all about.
It's just a jump to the left. And then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips. And bring your knees in tight. So we have the dog biscuits. We put them on the
I wasn't
stick.
convinced
Oh,
that...
okay.
No, you throw them onto the platform first.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
I felt a slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed.
And that's a count of animal abuse added to his list of crimes.
As I'd expected,
Believe
the dog
me,
could swim
no
like a...
animals were harmed
well,
in the making,
like a
the
dog.
making or playthrough of this game. I will say that now.
I mean, we did leave the goat
Yes.
tied up. back in
I'm
the
sure the
barn.
goat is fine. It's got a nice load of it's got a nice cart of hay.
It's
You
out
can
of its
talk to
reach. Out of its reach.
You can talk to the. You can talk. Yeah,
Oh,
you
we
can
can
talk to the watchman again if you want. There are a few more things I think you can talk to him about
Oh, good.
before we leave. We won't get a chance later.
And what's the big idea of busting into my office?
I hope you don't mind, but
You stay out of here, you hear? Otherwise the dog gets an early breakfast.
I wouldn't want him to change his eating habits on my account. Besides, I have brittle bones. He might choke.
You're a funny guy, George Stobart.
What's the problem with the stove?
I don't know. Damn flue seems to be blocked.
Maybe some bird built a nest in the chimney.
Huh?
A gull, maybe, or an albatross.
Albatross my ass. That chimney's too hot. What's wrong with your hand?
In my hand? Oh, friction burns.
Friction burns?
Yeah, I, slid down a rope.
You don't want to make a habit of that, pal.
Let me in, and I'll give you this lump of coal.
I got plenty of coal already. You always carry it around in your pocket?
I heard it was lucky.
Superstitious crap. I got a whole bucket of it in here and it ain't brought me no luck.
Do you recognize this metal cone?
Say, that's just like the Tin Man wore. You know, the Wizard of Oz.
That was a funnel.
I'd have never taken you for a fan of Dorothy and Toto.
That dumb kid? She ruined the whole damn thing for me, all that singing and stuff. Anyhow, she wasn't even a real kid. They stuffed her in a corset so her titties didn't show.
See you later.
Those who may not know, titties are boobies.
I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, some people may not know that.
If they don't, they're too young to be watching my channel.
Breaking steel padlocks with...
You can just climb over the fence now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now what's
I was just
really
immediately like, how can I pick the lock with the tools I have in my...
a nice little detail is wherever you climb over the fence, if you climb over the fence nearest the hut, he'll run across to the wall. And if you do it right near the wall, he'll just walk along the wall sneakily. So I think that's a nice little detail.
It read Pont de Nord, fine wine producers. I didn't recognize the label. The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. Anyway,
North Bridge.
I didn't really want it as a
Isn't
souvenir.
that good a name for a wine company?
It read Condor Transglobal. I'd come to the right place. Now all I had to do was get inside.
Can you steal this sign?
No.
This sign also looked firmly attached to the wall. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. The doors looked 100 years old, but they were still very sturdy.
Oh, by the way, we can add another list of crimes to his ever list of growing charges.
The clamp was held in a mechanism which forced its
Trespassing?
jaws open.
Yep.
Oh, he's done that before.
I
Yeah,
decided
but
not to tamper with the clamp. Those jaws looked like they could snap shut at any moment.
Trespassing times however times he's done it.
True. Another counter trespassing to his ever-growing list.
Yes. I would love this to go to court. Like, how many charges is he about? More than someone else.
The din must
now
have
who's
drowned
being
out the sound
brought
of
up
my
on charges.
knocking. That door seemed to be the only way into the warehouse. Maybe there was a way in up there.
You want to go through the ventilation shaft, Sam Fisher it?
It was a duct from a ventilation fan.
Unfortunately, no.
The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. The window wasn't fully shut.
Oh,
The
I
window
see.
looked like it hadn't been opened for many years.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, we're looking through. Gotcha.
The window was jammed shut.
No, we can't do that window. But the next window along we can do.
Yeah, that window.
Yeah. So I won't tell you what this is, but this gives you a clue on what you need to do shortly. So remember what you did with this, and it will come into effect
A
later.
fine old oak barrel.
Just for now, just go and examine that window.
It was the creep who'd kidnapped Nico, and I had a score to settle. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates.
He's looking right at us.
I wouldn't have been heard over the din of the fan. I wouldn't have been heard over the din of the It was a powerful fan. The room was filled with transglobal crates. I'd better think this through. I wasn't convinced that that was the right thing to do. That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss. I decided there was a better way to attract their attention.
Right,
I
so
decided
now you
that-
can go down and talk to... knock on the door,
I
rather,
decided
sorry.
there was a better...
But before you do, save it. Because this is the first place that you can die. Except for the spider.
Which I found someone else's recording of that and put it at the end of the last episode.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't know how you get it to trigger. So this next bit, I'm gonna not tell you what to do, because when you get him out, obviously this is where you can die. So I'm gonna let you work out what you think you need to do.
Who is it?
I think I figured it out, but we need to die first.
Pizza delivery?
Yeah.
I didn't order pizza.
No? This is the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company, isn't it?
I don't like pizza.
Oh, come on. Everyone likes pizza.
Maybe he was allergic to mozzarella.
Right, knock again. You can, if you want, show off each of the options that you've
what
got.
now?
Look, this pizza's been paid for. You might as well take it.
I told you, I don't like pizza.
Not even with extra olives?
I hate them. Olives are the devil's butt nuggets.
The grill
one
opened
more
from the
time.
in.
If you know what's good for you, you'll open this door.
What if I don't?
I'll kick your head in.
Okay, I'll come out, you creep.
Right, just wait now. Don't do it.
I know. We're trying to kill George Stobart.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a nice death screen.
So that shooting animation of him dying like that is pretty much the same one when you get him killed like this. There's nothing else until later in the game with Nico, and it's basically the same animation. There's no difference.
That's disappointing.
It is disappointing, but they gave this one less ways for you to die.
Yeah.
Who is it?
My name is Stobart. George Stobart.
What do you want?
I want to return your spider. I pulled its legs off, which is exactly what I'm going to do to you.
I got the feeling he wasn't too pleased to see me.
Now, what do you think you need to do?
See the other ways it can go.
Oh, okay.
There are various conversational tracks you can take here. I think I'm going to save at the base of the ladder, though.
Yeah. I was about to say that. Might be worth it.
These look like they're all going to be kind of funny, so...
Who is it?
Remember, you can
Police!
control an F5.
We want to talk
if
to you
you
about
wanna
abduction, arson,
load it
and
quickly.
attempted murder.
You got a warrant?
Sure, I got a warrant. Open the door, I'll show you.
You wait.
That's got him scared.
No,
And
no, it
angry.
doesn't have him scared.
Who is it?
Is this Condor Transglobal?
Nobody here. Go away.
I'll give you 5 seconds to let me in, or I'll bust down the door.
Okay. I'm coming.
He didn't sound too happy.
No, I would think you didn't.
No, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Who is it?
My name is Stobart.
What do you want?
I've come for my girl.
No girls here.
Open up, creep.
I got the feeling he wasn't too pleased to see me.
No one's pleased to see you, George.
You are correct with hovering over that. Thing is, you need with this type of thing, you had to be quick on this bit because he will go back in. You should be able to click on the That's it. Hopefully, he won't go back in. Yes. Now do it again.
Figured.
And you'll know why you've done it right because the music will pick up.
Ah! Yes, George, you did something right. Well done.
You can actually look at the barge that's just below the dock there, and you'll look down at the guy.
The Indian lay spread-eagled among the barrels in the bottom of the barge. It was a long way.
There we go.
So now we can go in and and take a poke around.
We can. Before you do, try going over to the right first. Don't examine anything else, and you'll understand why in a minute. So keep moving over as far as you can.
Whoa! Don't shoot!
The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something.
What? You want me to get out?
Nope, that wasn't it. Oh, what did he want?
Try talking to him.
The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. Hi, I'm not going to hurt you.
Quaramonte!
Was that your name? Quaramonte?
Quaramonte!
His vocabulary seemed a little restricted.
What have you done with my girlfriend?
Huh?
I am not leaving without her. Where is she?
He didn't appear to understand me.
Tell me what you've done with Nico, and I'll share these biscuits with you.
I knew it sounded lame, trying to bargain with a box of doggy snacks. Besides, how was he to know how yummy they tasted?
How are you to know, George?
He's eating them.
Do you know what this is?
Peito. Lotseka peito. Hinyakot lagoino mutu.
Fascinating.
This was the dart you used to knock out my girlfriend. If she's come to any harm, I will count you personally responsible.
Lotseka peito fnor.
A filing cabinet. It was locked. There was a notice board beside the desk with an assortment of paperwork on it. Among the paperwork which adorned the notice board was something which caught my eye. It was a delivery note from Condor Transglobal, and the address was Coromante City. It's a place, not the little guy's name. Oh, I should have guessed he wouldn't have a stupid name like Coromante.
He does remind me of... Have you seen Man with the Golden Gun?
Yes.
He reminds me a bit of Scaramanga's assistant.
I don't know.
There was a small drawer in the desk. Knowing my luck, it was bound to be locked.
He was very little guy.
The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key.
Which obviously is to the filing cabinet. Talk to him first.
Talk to him first.
Can I show him the panties?
No.
Yeah.
Talk about everything first. Well, he's only got the key. So.
What does this key unlock?
Huh?
Oh, is he okay?
Hey,
Yeah, he's
you're
fine.
manacled. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay?
This was the guy who knocked out Nico. So he is a little bit dangerous.
Hey, come back here!
Yeah, but he owes us one now, right?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
So that key's just for his shackles?
Yep.
The little
just
guy had
shackles.
gone to ground amongst the
Can't
stack of
open
crates.
the filing cabinet. Only place you can go now is up in the You could try it. To be honest, I probably did try it myself once.
George doesn't even
maybe
know
you
what
can't.
to do.
No.
It was the set of manacles I'd removed from the little Indian's ankles.
Oh, it's an elevator.
It was an elevator to the upper floor.
Yes, it is.
I couldn't pry the doors apart with my bare hands. There was usually an easier way to do it.
Yeah, but you don't have the sewer key anymore, George.
It was the button to
Usually,
call
George?
the elevator.
There's usually an easy way to do it. There's always an easier way to use an elevator or a lift. A lift. We call it a lift in the UK. For those who don't know.
In Paris, they call it an ascenseur.
I didn't know that.
French for elevator.
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, you don't speak French. I do.
Just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and stopped anyone from using the elevator. But what now?
You just had your cursor on it.
I don't think so. The crate bore the familiar logo of Condor Transglobal, but no clues to its contents.
I was thinking I could, like, scribble over the light emitter.
There. That would keep the doors
with
from closing.
lipstick, and then that would interrupt it.
The crate was
So,
labeled
It's
Danger.
not immediately obvious
Live
what you need to do in this
contents
bit.
do not drop. There were small
Obviously, we're here
holes
to
in the
rescue
top and
Nico.
sides and scratchy
So-
noises coming from inside.
This is a box of spiders.
I have no idea what it could be.
But decided not to risk dropping it and meeting the live contents.
So if you know where the elevator button
It was a
is,
hydraulic hand cart.
over to the right.
I'm investigating first.
There wasn't enough room
Okay.
to move the handle. The statue looked as if it was Central or South American in origin.
Yeah, shocking given that's what we're dealing with.
The statue
this
looked
episode,
way
this
too heavy for me to
adventure.
move. It was a pulley attached to a long rail which ran the length of the building. It wasn't much use, though. No rope.
We will make use of that in a
Oh
bit.
yeah, we have rope all over the place.
There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope. I realized the doors must lead to a loading platform high above the dockside. A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open. The window was not designed to open. There was no way to open that window.
Okay, so that's a dead end.
So where the elevator is, there's 2 buttons by the elevator. Try examining examine both
An
of them.
unmarked switch. Tempting.
Well, examine
It was the
switch.
elevator call button.
Can you see anything different about the floor over there?
Scratch marks, yes.
I noticed a faint mark on the wooden floor.
Now, when I first played this years ago, this wasn't immediately obvious, because I think there's something in this game that are even less obvious than the first game was.
There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. There wasn't much I could do with a pulley. The short chain stopped the cuffs reaching from the statue to the winch.
You a bit stumped?
Well, I'm just gonna ask, do we have everything we need to solve this, or is there an item we
No.
missing?
No, you have to examine that where their scratch marks are again. Go back over to that and
There was a
examine
big-
it more. So
There was a
You've got a
barely
door now
visible
above it.
scratch. There didn't appear to be any difference in the paneling of this part of the wall.
So go over and look at the door more closely.
Okay. So the pulley's not used to open that.
No.
My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall.
Okay.
Then I found a small round stud, which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling.
Hey.
Just as I'd hoped. A secret room. Nico!
So you can actually do something quite hilarious. You can grab everything in the room.
Don't panic. I'll be back in a moment.
You can do that as well, make her panic, but you can go to talk to her first without untying her, and then obviously you have to get to the
It was a
pulley,
grotesque
don't you?
little statue of a figure carrying a shield
So you
and
have
a
to move
spear.
the box back in order to do that.
This is why she broke up with you, George.
Will you look at this? It was a small statue of a kneeling figure in an ornate headdress. The head was hideous, with huge staring eyes set in a decomposing face.
Hey, somebody's marketing Labino dolls.
So if you take off the
Nico was trussed up like a chicken, but she didn't appear to be harmed. Hold still. This might hurt a little.
Ow!
Think yourself lucky you don't have a mustache.
About time. You could at least have helped me before grabbing everything you could find.
Not so loud. They'll hear you.
Get these ropes off me right now.
You know, the mood you're in, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Where's Pablo, the big guy?
Out cold. Too much wine doesn't agree with him. Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. Untie me this instant.
Oh God, you did what I did when I was doing mine.
George, where are you going?
I'll be back in a moment.
What about me?
Don't panic. Everything's under control.
Is it? Mate, are you just
It was a
trying
short
to
length of rope
antagonize her
tied
more?
tightly around Nico's slim wrists.
I'm trying to ruin George's life.
Fair enough.
There. How you feeling?
Oh, thanks, Georges. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Oubier had been in Marseille. But never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Carzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes. The proof I needed to expose Carzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oubier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oubier.
I don't get it. If Carzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Carzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Now, you can, if you
Nico,
want,
wait.
we can finish this bit off because there isn't that much of
I
this bit to do.
distinctly remember Moo being dead last game.
We'll ask her about it and see what she says.
We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo's recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure. Okay, tell me what you know about Condor.
Condor Transglobal exports Aztec and Mayan relics from Central America to Europe. But that's just a cover for the real business. Drug smuggling.
What proof do you have?
Nothing yet.
Do you know where Condor is based?
In Central America. A place called Quaramonte.
I saw that name on a docket downstairs. Tell me about this Carzak guy.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes, but he frightens me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes, they're like a wild animal's, like a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Did you know Oubier's wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he was married. What happened to her?
She died. In mysterious circumstances, apparently.
How mysterious?
I heard she was murdered. Possibly by Oubier himself.
A murderer, huh? André said he was something of a celebrity.
Did I hear you refer to Inspector Mou?
Yes, you remember him?
Of course I do. But I thought he was dead.
Oh no, he reappeared after the Broken Sword case had blown over. When he found out who was in with the Neo-Templars, he went into hiding. Mou knew more than was good for him.
Does he know about our involvement with the case?
If he does, he's not telling. Still, he got a sudden promotion.
Oh, that's good. Good for Moo.
Yeah.
What I said
good
I
for
wanted
Moo.
to happen in the first episode happened.
Yep, I just couldn't
Did
say
that Indian
anything because
guy
he would have ruined
mistreat
it
you?
for you.
If you
Fair
forget
enough.
about the abduction, verbal threats, and bondage, no.
Well, what about the little guy?
I don't think he knows where he is or what he's doing here. The big guy, Pablo, he brought Titipoco from the jungle.
Titty what?
Titipoco. That's what I heard Pablo call the dwarf.
Oh.
Do you recognize this?
Is that the dart which knocked me out?
That's right. I kept it as a souvenir.
And to pick a lock.
Have you
Yeah.
any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, Georges. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
I found these in your bag.
Oh, They were a gift.
I know. I read the note.
God knows what was going through Andre's mind.
I think that's quite plain enough. Look, the little guy downstairs was chained up with these.
That must have been Pablo's doing. I don't blame him, though. That little guy is dangerous.
You're still sore about that poison dart?
Of course I'm sore.
Alright, I think I've solved this puzzle.
It would be much easier to attach the rope to the statue first.
Okay, we'll do it that way then, I guess.
Now, you're on the right track, but unfortunately you can't get to the pulley properly.
The rope
So
wasn't
what
long
have you
enough
got in
to
your
reach the
inventory
pulley.
that you can use in place of the box that's in the elevator? You've got something that was used on Nico. There we go.
Hopefully, the tape would prevent those doors from closing and stop the Indian from being able to call the elevator.
Now push the crate back. Now you can move the other crate on that crate. Or the smaller crate, I should say. And now
It was a
push that
large
one out of the
crate.
way. Now you can use the pulley cart, pallet carrier, sorry.
The pallet rose about 6 inches off the floor, and I said a silent prayer to whoever had discovered the power of hydraulics.
What on earth are you doing?
Trying to raise the statue so I can hook it to that pulley.
Is that really going to help us?
I like to keep myself occupied in times of stress.
Nico, you're very much in the way, right? Nico, you're very...
There was nothing else.
Yeah, good. Can she go? Can she fuck off while I do this?
There you go. Now, obviously, you need to use the
I didn't want to remove... The statue looked way too heavy for me to move.
Use the pallet carrier again.
Right. I was thinking we just swing it down the track and it'll battering around the door.
Yeah, you're right, but it needs to. You need to be able to
I
make
didn't
it
see
hang,
a need to raise the cart again.
because now it's hanging off the pallet.
It was too heavy for me to move on my own.
Okay, I had to make a double take of that bloody statue
I
because
didn't
I can
want
see
to remove...
the arm is coming across the chest. That arm that your cursor's on,
Yeah.
but I thought that was something different. That was out of its chest and not its hand.
It
So
was
you can't
too
move it
heavy
on
for
your
me to
own.
move on my own.
But you've got a certain person here with you.
Yeah, so Nico's gonna help us. All right.
Yep.
Could you give me a hand to push this statue?
What for?
This, my dear, is our passport to freedom.
If you say so, dear.
Now, exiting out there and doing the next one
Push.
thing will get you out of this location, but you might as well just get past this bit and then get into the next part before we
Great
start
teamwork.
the next episode.
Nice to be working with you again,
Unless
Mr.
you want to leave it
Stoddart.
and do that next time. It's up to you. So you've got a bit of a clue hanging from the thing there. What have you got that you can use on the wire?
Nico, I have a great idea.
No, you have an idea. The greatness of the idea is highly questionable. Oh, there's 20.
George, where have you been?
Never mind that. Do you have the Mayan stone?
Maybe I have, but,
Don't argue, André. Give the stone to George.
well, of course, if you say so, Nicole.
Thank you so much, André.
George, he told me you'd been kidnapped, my dear. I'm glad to see he was mistaken.
Oh, but it was true. If it hadn't been for George, I wouldn't be here now.
That's not finished yet. Karzak's thugs will be back for that stone, you can bet. The best lead that we have is Coromonte City.
Coromonte? It's in Central America. That's
Thing
where
that the
Umier gets his
small
artifacts.
place what
That's all we needed to
lane
know.
broke.
Come on, George.
Claramonte, the traveler's rear entrance to Central America. Well, that's how it was translated in the brochure.
Why is she dressed like a...
We didn't know what we were looking for, but the offices of
I don't know, but if you
Global seemed a
examine
good place
her
to start.
when we get into gameplay before we stop, you get quite a funny reaction from George.
It's because we're dressed like a frickin' tourist, and she's dressed like Sarah Connor.
Hey, it's market day. I don't see any cabs. Let's ask someone how to get to Coromonte City.
Okay. Keep your eyes peeled for any sign of Condor Transglobal.
But this is all the time we have for now. No, you're still going? Okay.
Not quite ready to get Cursor back.
Alright, there we go. I'm Merrick. This is all the time we have for now, but I think we're way further in this game than we were at this point in Broken Sword.
Yes, we are.
So, oh no. It's back. It's back for revenge.
I hope we do another, or we do an episode tomorrow, because there is a hilarious Easter egg with that goat. And if you play this on your own, I guarantee you this, you would not have worked this out.
Anyway, I've been Mark D'Amato.
And I've been Classic Gamer.
And see you next time. Ciao.
Ciao.
Hi. Thanks for watching. This has been played, edited, and recorded by me, Merrick D'Amato.
And he's been helped by me, Classic Gamer.
You can find a link to Classic's YouTube channel, Classics Gamer, and his Twitch in the description below. Please like, comment, and subscribe.